Hey, sorry, my hair is probably still a bit of a mess from my hat, but oh, oh my god. Life is so interesting. Oh my god. So, remember yesterday, I was just kind of in, for lack of better terms, I felt like I was a bit of funk because it's like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to focus on. I'm trying to feel grateful, but I just feel like I just want to hibernate until like warmth and. Oh, ooh, Lord have mercy. Oh, I am so blessed right now. Like, wow. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. So like, um, yeah, I'm just so excited. Like, I'm forgetting words just because like I'm so excited, just like basking in the energy of everything. Oh my, okay. I got focused. Tell you the story. Okay, this is Jill. Say hi, Jill. Hi. No, you don't want to say hi to the camera? No. Okay, we'll go put you down. Okay, so yeah, I'm like so excited. I like came home and like I had like my nettle tea infusion, but I also wanted to get chai because I wanted something like super warm because it is cold outside. It's like it's it's the wind that makes it really really cold. And again, great tip for you all if you're in wintry weather like I am, put extra moisturizer on your face because it helps. So I might still be red in the face because of how cold and windy it was. Give me I need some warmth and I don't even know how this tastes because this is my second attempt of making a cold brew chai, and I love April from She Is of the Woods, so I got like the basic recipe from her, but I modified it for me. So basically, I just added more cinnamon. I added allspice, and instead of maple syrup, I used coconut sugar because I like coconut sugar more. But I just wanted to try with maple syrup. But like for me, maple syrup it's okay. Like I could probably have it in small dosages, and then it just feels like too much. So this is actually my first real taste of tasting it. I tasted it real quickly just after having the nettle, and I'm like, that's probably not the good best gauge for it. So I don't know if this needs more sweetener or anything. So we're about to find out. So hold on. Oh, that's so good. I could probably use a tad more sweetener, but I also put in like I don't know if I could show you with the. Yeah, I drank too much. You can't see it because I didn't fill it all the way to the top, and I'm not gonna risk spilling this. But oh, what was I saying? Yeah, so the chai. So probably needs a little bit more sweetener because I feel like probably the because I'm cold brewing it, the coconut sugar doesn't distribute as much just because it's like very granular, and so I might have to add in more. And I also did put macadamia nut milk in here because I got a sale for it, and that's part of the excitement I want to tell you about. But this is also really good just because it's warm, and mitts are good for really hot drinks right now. Anyway, okay, let's put that down. So, um, yeah, so I'm like waking up this morning. I'm like, okay, I, I gotta get stuff organized and done, and like going out in this really really cold weather. I'm just like, oh, okay, and I got them much faster than I thought it would because I'm just guessing like my body just decided to move faster because it's cold. Because normally, if I'm like leisurely walking, it would take me 20-25 minutes for me to get there normally, but it only took me like 15. I was just like, I'm normally not here this fast. Like time's working on my side. Like cool, I don't have to be outside as much. So I did what I had to do. Then I got a message on my phone. It's like, hey, I have these things for you. If you want them, you could come pick them up. And I'm here. I'm like, oh, that is on my way towards the store because yeah, it's like on the way. I'm like, I could be there in a few minutes. And she's like, cool. And these are things I want to, I didn't bring them in with me because I'm just thinking about that now and I don't want to run and go get it. But these are like these glass mason jar things with the lid, you know, that kind of lid thingy. So I'm like, great, because I want to start like making stuff again. And oh, there's just so much excitement that, Oh, there's even stuff from like yesterday from after I made the video that I have to share with you. But I got focused on one story at a time. So yeah, and then it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the store really quick, just because like I'm just gonna pick up a few things because I really don't need to go for like another 2 days. But it's literally on the way, and with my store, I can take a cart with me to my apartment because I live close by, so it's not like I have to carry everything all at once. So I was like, I'll just pick a few things, and you know, it'll be fine. Like maybe I'll spend, crossing figures, $50. That did not happen. That hardly ever happens. The price of things. So basically, since yesterday, because I try to focus on my language a lot and say certain things, not say certain things, or spin things in a certain way. And then when certain things come in mind, I'm like, okay, where's the limiting belief with that? How can we change that? How can we change the energy of that? So one of the things, especially going to a grocery store and looking at the price of eggs, it's like, whoa, this is expensive. But so before getting to the store, I'm like still like mulling over like how to like improve the self-talk because I'm going to the grocery store soon. And I was just like, okay, so my funds are allocated to certain things right now, and we're in the process of reallocating things as my abundance in resources grows. That's kind of what I came up with on the fly. Because I think I got a bit of inspiration from Aaron Lyons about that. So I'm just like, okay, that's what I kind of came up with. So I'm like going in the store and I'm like, ooh, eggs. I'm like, I remember when these used to be like $2.50 cheaper. I'm just like, ooh, okay, let's just get one carton of eggs because I also still have eggs at home. So it's just like, let's just get one carton of eggs and we'll just look around a little bit. And I saw a dragon fruit for like $2.50, which is relatively a good price, I think, because this summer I saw them expensive as like $7 something. I'm like, for one, I'm just like, ooh. And like dragon fruit, at least here, I think they have a very subtle taste and they're kind of bland, but I believe they are rich in vitamin C. At least that's what I remember. You can correct me if I'm remembering wrong. I don't know. But I'm just like, okay, that's a decent price. There was 3 left and only one of them really looked good. I'm like, okay, I'll just get you. Then I saw blueberries. I saw organic blueberries, like the long pint little things for like $3.50 something. I'm like, okay, I'm getting me some of those because berries are expensive. I mean, I still have a ton of berries I bought last week because they were also on sale. So, but like, I like berries, and my husband likes berries. He like puts them in yogurt and cereal and stuff like that. And I get through different. I mostly crave berries like a lot of times, like in the summer. That's when I really crave berries. But it's like I'll add them in a smoothie, and like lately I just don't want them because it's cold, I guess. So like maybe I'll just put a few in there. I don't know. So I'm just like, okay, but they're there, and like worst case, I could just freeze them and use them later. Because that's what I did with raspberry over the summer. Like I found organic raspberries that the little things for like less than $2. So I bought a whole bunch. I gave some to my mother-in-law. So like put them in the freezer, use them whenever. Made sorbets was I still have a ton in there. Oh, and I found the best way to freeze like berries like those. Get little ice cube trays, put a berry in each one, let them freeze, then put them in the back. Anyway, back to the story. So berries, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna buy some blueberries because I like blueberries. Um, I never know when my body's necessarily gonna want something, just because like I remember one summer like I just craved blackberries. Like this one day I had like 4 things of like blackberry. I'm like I never ate that many berries at one sitting in one day in my entire life. Like I don't know what came over me. So I just buy them because I know my husband will eat them, but sometimes I just get weird different cravings at times. I'm like, okay, it's there. If I don't eat them, my husband will eat them or they'll go in the freezer and I'll have them for later. So when I see a good price for things, I get them. I'm like going around looking around. Okay, so remember, so you like the macadamia nut milk? This is the one I used in my latte. I don't often get these types of milks because like I don't really like doing a lot of nut milks as much anymore and stuff like that. But I love macadamia. Like I don't know, something about macadamia. It's just good, and it can, even with macadamia, it can be expensive doing it on your own. if y'all want a really cheap, like I've made nut milks like the freshest way to like the cheap easy way. If y'all are interested, let me know. I can talk about that, or I can talk about it now. I know. Anyway, I don't do a lot of that. Like I decided not to buy milk until like maybe in a couple weeks, because I have to, for me to drink milk or like most dairy, like I have to get it raw unpasteurized, which is not easily accessible, especially where I am. It's technically illegal for it to be in the stores, which I think is ridiculous, but whatever. And it's just like I missed the window buying it yesterday, so it's like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to buy it during the next window because of stuff that's going on. And so I'm just like, you know, these things are expensive. These are normally like six something dollars. Like, yeah. So again, universe, manifestation, all this stuff. So one big thing that I learned about manifestation that maybe some of y'all don't know, I came across this, I don't know exactly when, like maybe a couple years ago. I think, I don't know. But see, my limiting belief at the time, it's not that way now. And I'm able to see so much more opportunities now that I understand this more, and maybe y'all can learn something from this. But when you're manifesting stuff isn't does not always mean free. Okay? Like I know I had that frame in my mind all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. You can get a lot of things for free by like manifesting stuff. Like it happens to me all the time. Like with those jars and like shoe boxes and stuff that I got on the way home because like I called the company. But anyway, so I'll get back to that later. So, I was just thinking, it's like, how am I going to manifest stuff? But in my brain, I'm thinking manifestation is like, I'm just going to get free stuff all the time. And that is not the case. It can be, but it's not always the case. And that is one of the things that I think that was slowing down, the manifestation, law of attraction and abundance and all that kind of stuff. And I like realized that maybe a couple of years ago, maybe one, two, I don't even know. Like the time factor does it's not even important anymore. I realized it at some time ago, and I'm just like, oh, so when you're manifesting stuff, sometimes you're manifesting an opportunity, sometimes you're manifesting a discount, sometimes you're manifesting meeting the right person to get you to the right place. So, yeah, so y'all can Google stuff like this. This is normally like over $6 to get something like this. One of the reasons why I'm still wearing gloves because I don't like touching receipts with my hands, and because they say like like this chemicals and leaching into your skin with the hormones and stuff like that. Y'all can look that stuff up on your own. So I can't find my highlighter, so I just look. So I bought a bunch of them, but oh, I don't know if y'all can see with the focus. I know, but that macadamia nut milk is like around $3. And I don't use that much of it because I'm just pouring some in my like latte stuff, which I'm gonna take a sip now because I'm thirsty and cold. That's like almost half off. Yeah, I hope you can see the focus. I don't know how the focus is going on there, but I'm just like, oh, that's amazing. So as y'all can probably tell, I bought a few of them. And then, one thing that I was even talking about yesterday, because, like, my body really likes red meat, especially when it tends to go anemic. And I've been kind of playing with not eating as much meat and trying to find ways to other supplement things, specifically red meat. I could eat chicken and pork. It just doesn't work the same for me. Anyway, so again, another big thing. So okay, so this is bison. I love bison. If I haven't seen venison in my store for a while. I probably have to go to, and they aren't available at most butcher places, but like venison stuff like that, that's more like gamey, and like my body loves stuff like that. Like I need the red meat. As like venison and like elk and stuff like that, that's probably also better for you because unlike beef and bison, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with beef and bison. It's just that they are raised, so they're not getting as much nutrition as they were wild compared to like venison and deer. Like I think it would be very challenging to like farm raise elk and deer. Like I just don't think it would work because they're like all over the place. This is bison. You know, it is grass fed, pastured. This stuff is normally expensive. And I like buy this kind of stuff rarely just because, you know, we all know why, you know. Check this out. So, yeah, I can't remember. So this is made with 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised, regeneratively raised bison. This has 30 grams of protein, and this is 10 ounces. And this is like a decent brand, like that I can easily get to. Unfortunately, the butcher closest to me only does the traditional meats again, which is fine. And I don't always go to the butcher because my resources are being allocated other places right now. And I haven't explored the other butcher place that has other options because it's far and cold. It's cold, and you know, and it's like I could kind of make a trip out there, but I'm like, I can wait till it's warmer. It's not that urgent. And you know, for some of the things, like for certain things, they said, oh, you should call to see if we have it because sometimes they don't always have certain things because it's such a specialty item. Check this out. Okay, bison is usually, the cost of it is a lot more than beef. So I don't know if y'all can tell. It's hard for me to tell because like I have little buttons on the side, so I don't know how focused this is because it's like my record button is over there. I got bison for under $5. Bison patties, like $4.57. As you can see, I bought a bunch of them. This is a meal. This is like protein. This is stuff my body needs and loves and craves. And because I bought a bunch of them, like I might not be able to eat them all, but I can put them in the freezer and eat them later. I prefer them being fresh, unfrozen, but hey, I was just like, I'm so thankful because I was just talking about like I need to increase my meat intake, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And $4.57 each, and that's 10 ounces. So that's probably close to maybe, I don't know, if I try to do quick math in my head, somewhere like around $8 a pound. And that's a good price. And like, oh my God. That is amazing. Yeah, that's like 8-ish somethings a pound, give or take, just doing quick math. If y'all want to do the math and tell me what the exact figure is right now. I don't know. Because, like, and at my store, like, they sometimes get things from different places because, you know, sometimes they don't have certain things. So sometimes with the meats, they get it at different places. Because I was looking at the beef prices at first. I'm like, $12 a pound. I was just like, whoo. And then I saw those. I'm like, grabbing at that. I left a few. I did not take them all. I left a few. I was just like, thank you. And I'm just like, the $12 for like my meat at the store, because sometimes some brands are more expensive than others, but that was the only one that they had. I was just like, ooh, it would be cheaper to go to my butcher and get that. And so, and I'm just like, oh, I'm getting ready to pay. I'm like, oh, I forgot cheese. So again, I'm compared to what's in the store, I limit my selections just because I personally don't process unpasteurized, ultra pasteurized milk very well, and I can't eat a lot of it. I mean, it's not like I can eat like pounds of it a day or anything. Like, no, let's not do that. Especially, no. So like, I have to get raw unpasteurized stuff, which you know that's a specialty item. And I was gonna be looking for like one of my favorite cheeses, Storyteller, and it's like from this place in like Vermont, and they didn't have it. I was like, no, I love cheese because I know when I don't eat enough or not enough protein, my body will like get cravings like really late at night. I'm like, and that gives me the signal like I didn't eat enough today. So like I just have some cheese and just be done with it. Whether it's wrong or right, whatever. It's not ideal, but it's like I ain't gonna sleep if I'm hungry. It ain't happening. So it's like, let me eat some cheese. I'll brush my teeth again, and I'm out. Because I actually used to do that with like almond butter and peanut butter, but I've noticed like my body doesn't want that as much. It tastes weird to me now. Like I'm getting consistently the same brand, and I'm like asking my husband like, does this taste the same for you? Because that's mostly for him. He's like, yeah, it tastes the same. Like for me, I'm just like, we don't want that anymore. Of course, almond butter and kind of like 1 2 spoonfuls of that is much cheaper than cheese, like cheese and like stuff. But it's just like, well, this is what my body wants. It's like, okay, because I tried, because it's much more economical having a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter than like having cheese or like extra thing of meat or something. But it is what it is. Anyway, like again, because sometimes they make order things, sometimes they don't always make order things. It just kind of depends. I don't fully understand the buying systems of each individual store because everyone has their thing. So, but I was so happy they had a cheese I have not found in a long time. And it's by this other farm. I don't remember where it's from. I actually have to look at the label because I don't remember. And it is Gouda with nettles. I was like, oh, yes. Like these cheeses I eat specifically raw. There's like few cheeses that I would actually cook to like, like make a grilled cheese or something because they just taste so much like they just taste so good as their own on their own. Like the Gouda and nettles is amazing. So I just like bought 2 like wedges of that. I'm like, okay, that'll be because nettles are great and amazing for you. They're like full of nutrition. There's probably not a lot of minerals and stuff in the cheese because there's not that many nettles. I've already just had my tea infusion just before doing this video. But anyway, I was just like, yeah, I haven't seen this cheese in months. So it's like, okay, we're gonna have some of that. Okay, no more storyteller for a while because it ain't there. So I was like so happy because like I haven't seen this cheese in months, and like I was buying this all the time too. Because again, it's just like, my body wants specific things because it's vibrating in a specific way. And it's not like I'm more or less spiritual because I'm eating meat, not eating meat, eating at the wrong times or whatever. It just is what it is. It's like, whatever. You know, do I make it a habit of eating at like midnight? No. But, if like, oh, you didn't eat enough today, you need to eat. Otherwise, we're going to keep you awake till like 4 or 5 in the morning until you eat something. Then it's like, okay, fine. So I got the Gouda cheese. I was like, I'm going to be so happy to have that. And so on the way home, I was, okay, so about a week ago, so I'm trying to like reorganize my space a little bit because I am, because that's a kind of a consistent thing. And so it's like shoes, like shoes. Like I let some shoes go. Husband has shoes, and it's just like we have them by the front. I'm just like, this just. I try to make it look nice, but I'm just like, I don't really like how this looks. I don't like how it looks. I'm not feeling it. But it's as nice as I can get it. So I had the idea, for like, oh, brilliant idea. What if for like the shoes we don't really wear that often, I put them in shoe boxes? Like shoe boxes. Because it's like, I don't have to see the shoes. These will be nicely organized. I'm just like, oh, duh. It's just like, how did I not think of this before? So now I'm like, okay, where am I gonna find shoe boxes? So like I tried calling DSW, like can't get anyone on the phone. They don't even give you the option to talk to anybody. So I'm like, all right. So I call like some shoe places, local shoe stores near me, and I think when I talked to the second one, I'm just like, they were also first. I don't remember. I was talking to one of them like, and they both like I was confused, and they said no, we don't have extra shoe boxes. And then I got the idea of actually asking a follow-up question because I didn't ask that. I'm like, like, could you let me know like when you do have extra shoe boxes? Because in my brain I'm thinking, yeah, they should have tons of extra shoe boxes, but in reality it's like the shoes they get come in the shoe boxes. Why would they have extra? I'm like, oh, maybe there's like a few from like the display ones, something like that. But yeah, apparently it's not as common. And so she called me yesterday and it was too cold for me to go. Like I already went out once yesterday. Like the wind is nuts. I was just like, oh, no, I'm already inside. I already showered. I'm inside. No, when I go back outside, it's like, can I come tomorrow? She's like, sure. So I went to get that, again with my groceries. I got these big giant shoe boxes. Again, they're outside. I'm not bringing them in here to just show you shoe boxes. Because I also specifically asked for large shoe boxes because I did have extra shoe box because I actually got an extra shoe box from like someone else. And it's like, they don't fit my husband's shoes because his feet and shoes are much bigger than mine. So I'm like, yeah. So when I got there, she gave me these large shoe boxes. I was like, oh, and like they're like all black. It's like their branding and stuff like that. And it's like they're huge. I'm like, I could fit these shoes in here. And she's like, oh, are you doing a school project? I'm like, no. I'm like we have a lot of shoes and I'm trying to make it look neat. She's like, I understand. I'm like, yeah, and if I don't end up using all the shoe boxes, maybe I can donate them to like a school project or something. Yeah, I don't know if this is a thing nowadays, but I remember I used to love making dioramas. Like when I was little, like, like you had like the clay, like with the dinosaurs and like the molds. I have fun with that. Anyway, so, and she even, and I'm like, oh, because I came like with a bag and like my book bag, and that's like I also have the cart with my groceries and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, I did not think they would be this big, which I'm super happy about. And she was just like, do you need an extra bag? I'm like, yes, please. So she just gave me this extra huge big bag to hold like 3 of these boxes because they're like this size boxes ish. I'm just like, oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so yeah, and now I'm home and I like got this stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. I can like make things look nicer and neater. I'm so happy. And also, I gotta add in the manifestation stuff from last night too because I almost forgot about it. It's also part of the story, which I almost forgot. And again, super excited. Yeah, so little back of story. So I decided I wanted to do a cleanse like at the beginning of the year, but with all the stuff going on, things around, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna start right away. I don't like doing deep cleanses in the winter. I personally don't like it for my body because it's like cold and like having cold stuff. I don't like that much, so I'm waiting a little while to do that. I might do that spring slash summer, like maybe May, maybe June, probably May. We'll see. And so I'm like reading this book that like it came with because I got a pretty heavy program because they had like a lighter program and they have a more intense program, and it was only a few dollar difference. So I'm like, I got the more intense program. Worst case, I don't do it as heavy. I'll still get benefit of it because it just has a few extra herbs compared to this other one, and some of the other items I had in that pack I'm not gonna use. I'm just not because it's not relevant for me because like one anyway. So I'm like, I'd rather get the herbs that are more relevant to me. And if I don't follow the protocol 100%, but closer to that protocol, it'll be fine, you know. So anyway, I'm like reading the book and like going over stuff like how to take the herbs and stuff like that. And like sometimes you got to read the things over and over because, some of these herbs, like the different herbal formulations and, you know, depending on your school of thought, for some people it might be very intense trying to combine different herbs because you don't know which herbs are necessarily working for you. But then there's another school of thought that's like there's a reason why we have a synergy of stuff, so these all things work together. That's your call on that. Like I decided I'm doing this. It's just the timing of it, I'm not sure. But I'm like reading the book and there's like other things to do with it. So like they also recommend like raw food or like raw juice for like 30 days. I'm still like going over how I'm gonna do that because like my body really likes red meat, and I was like, I don't know how I'm doing that, but we have time to figure it out. We have time to figure out, or if I can't fully do it, I'll still get some benefit, whatever. So I'm also going through some of the stuff, and they also recommend certain poultices, like if you have like some wounds or some lumps or like all these different things. And like they is like, oh, like for like small little things you could probably put again, okay, this is not medical advice. I ain't tell nobody to do nothing. I'm reading a book. I haven't done this myself. If you want to do it, That's your story, not mine. I'm just telling you what I'm learning right now. So again, big disclaimer: I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Okay, so I'm like reading the book, like different poultices you can do. There's like stuff with like castor oil packs and stuff like that. So like they say, oh, like if you have like a small little mole or something, you could put this poultice. But if it's really small, you could probably just put garlic on it for a couple days, and it'll burn, and you might end up with a little hole in your skin. But then there's another poultice, or you can use aloe to heal that. Again, not recommend anything for anyone. This is just what I'm reading. This is just what I'm reading. So I ain't saying nobody to do nothing. Okay, so I'm like reading through and like the herbs that need to do some of these things. Like, some of these things are like poke seal, no, poke root, golden seal, um, uh, plantain leaf, red clover, and stuff like that. And it's just like, I just made this investment on this. And I'm reading this. Okay, like this is stuff I do want to add on as well too, because it's like I do have some stuff I'm working on. Like I already got castor oil and I have like nettles. So I'm like, huh. I'm just like, you know, there are some local apothecaries I could go to. I was like looking some website, but it's just like they charge a lot. Like compared to if you buy it online, but it's like you only want a small amount, but but it's just like, whoo, like they are upcharging because you only want a small amount. And I'm just like, wow, especially golden seal. Oh, oh, I did not realize golden seal was highly valued. Golden seal is highly valued. I had no idea. And I was like looking up on Google, why is golden seal so expensive? Highly valued. And apparently it's like one of those lists, kind of endangered or like something like that. I don't remember if it actually said the word endangered, but it's near that area because also people tend to over harvest and don't replace, which no bueno. I unfortunately also don't live in an area where I can wild forest for things like yarrow, yellow dock, rose hips. There's all types of herbs and stuff like that. So it's like I have to buy stuff. I live in a city. And even if I could wild harvest here, I don't know if I would. I mean, I do live near like a park, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd be wild harvesting from like random trees in the park. I don't know. I don't know. There's just a lot of pollution and like people living. Yeah, no. And so I'm just like looking at some of these prices because it's like some of the stuff I'm going to use for other things. Yo, I'm just like, yo, wow. I'm just looking at some of these prices. I'm just like added it up. So this was like 2 days ago. I'm like looking at all these prices. I was just like, yeah, okay. I like kind of put two things in a card. Something like, okay, let me look at this other site, and then I made a Google Doc, and I'm like comparing prices at like different sites. So it's like, okay, this is more expensive there. They're currently out of stock here. They have it in stock, but it's a lot more expensive. Like calendula flowers. Calendula flowers are said to be like really good for the skin. What else they're really good for? I don't know. I just know skin. Because I remember trying like this one thing with calendula. It was like it did really work well on my skin. But I'm like not doing like those store bought mask things anymore. I was much younger then, but it had some weird polymer stuff. I don't know, but I always heard calendula is really good. But like at the store I would go to, they're sold out. The other store I found, they have one from like abroad and one from America. The one from abroad is sold out. The one in America is like 80 something dollars a pound. I was like, good lord. Like the other stuff is like cheaper, and the other like all these other places sold out. I'm sure there are other places I can look up online, but I'm like looking at cost per pound. So like I'm making my Google sheet, finding out cost per pound, blah 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 blah. So I'm just like, okay, I can't think about this right now. And it's like, okay, I have time to get some of these herbs. Maybe I'll get a few herbs here, maybe a few herbs and that. So by the time I'm ready to do cleanse and all this other stuff, I'll eventually have like stuff. So it's like, okay, let me just hold off for a second. Like, let me take a break because it's like When I go into research mode, I go into research mode. I'm like, okay, I need a break because I'm stressing myself out. And it's like, okay, I'm spending too much time like on the computer. So the next day, they're like, oh, we noticed you left something in your cart. Da 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 da. So, you get like those messages and stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm like, I don't. Like, I'm not ready to make a decision yet, or something. So I'm like, okay, yeah. And then, surprise, surprise, later that day, I get like another text message. Oh, we're having a sale. I'm guessing because yesterday was President's Day, whatever. 25% off. 25% off. I was just like, yo, okay, we buying stuff now. We buying stuff. Only got a few of the herbs because, the store I'm looking at, they didn't have everything I wanted because some of the herbs I'll have to get from like another place just because, different places have different things. It's like, it's not like a fully ledge apothecary that has like everything. But, some will have something, some whatever. So, I'm taking my time, but I'm gonna get everything I can. It's 25% off. 25% off. Do you know how much that is? So I got golden seal. Yo, golden seal for like a quarter pound, which is essentially what? 4 ounces? It's like $100. I was just like, good lord. But I know how good and how highly valued golden seal was. I'm like, all right, fine. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I got some like red clover that's also supposed to be good for like women's health. I got some extra nettles. I got some yarrow and yellow dock. Most of it's organic. One's like wild harvested. Yeah, like wild harvested tends can be is usually better. It depends on the sourcing and things like that. With this company, it'll be good. Wild sourcing is good for this company. Anyway, so I'm getting ready to check out. I was just like, ooh, that's already over $200 because the golden seal itself is like 100. I was just like, ooh, okay, what can I put back? But of course, also as I'm adding things, oh, you get a free gift. So I'm like, okay, great, yeah. So it's some type of berry. I know nothing about this berry. Once I get it and look at it, I'll probably look into it a bit more. But I ain't worried about that at the moment. So it's like, yay, free gift, awesome, cool. And it's like, I also, if you spend more than $40, you get free shipping. I'm already way past that. So I'm just like, yo, great. And I'm just like, ooh, over $200. Ooh, ooh. I'm just like, okay, and then and then I'm going in my brain like, do I really need certain things? Like, can I get them a little later? But 25% off is really good. And I'm just like, I'm like taking stuff out, then putting stuff back in. I'm just like, you know what? Okay, fine. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? Like something I kind of wanted to do for a while. I wanted to make like vanilla extract because it would be so much cheaper to make it yourself. And I was looking up the prices of vanilla beans. I was like 4 ounces, like again, another 100 something, 100 like 25, 30, something like that. I was just like, But I'm just like, am I really gonna make the vanilla beans now? No, I'm not. We can save time for that. Because, to make vanilla extract and stuff like that, that's gonna need at least, I think, minimum 6 months to a year to like ferment. I'm just like, yeah, so if I want to give stuff away for like Christmas and stuff like that, it's like, it might be, I'm like, I'd rather do it a whole year. I'm just like, that's something I could hold off. That's not something I'm going to need within like the next couple months. And I already bought some vanilla extract a couple months ago. It's still there. I mean, I don't use it that often, but it's like occasionally when I want something, I'll make something. Like I did put some in the cold brew that I made and stuff like that, but I didn't use a lot. I think I used maybe like 1, 2 tablespoons, but I'm making like a half gallon of it. I don't even remember. I just pour. I don't measure everything perfectly. And so I'm just like, ooh, okay. But it's like I already had a big savings from the 25% off. It's like I like saved like $70. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, oh yes, oh yeah, like, oh, do you have an account with us? It's like, oh, I do have an account because like I signed up for for during 2020. 2020 was a weird time, and I was trying to buy stuff from it. So I was like, oh, pay like an extra $10 for a membership, for a lifetime membership. I'm like, sure. Turns out during that time, the stuff I put in the cart with everything else was all out of stock. So it only charged me for the membership. I was just like, it was like something like $10. I'm like, are you serious? I, I was, I was annoyed because like I wanted this stuff because 2020, everything's weird. I want to get stuff. I'm having trouble getting stuff because it's 2020. I'm just like, I'm not even gonna think. It's just 10 something dollars. Forget it. I just want to forget it. I'm just like, forget it. So I completely forgot about this. Again, 2020. That's like 5 years ago. Wow, 5 years. Wow, time flies. So then it's like, oh, I signed in. Then like my cart somehow emptied, so I had to put everything back in the cart. And then I got new prices because apparently as a member, I think you get like 10% off or 15, something like that. So I'm like, oh, things are cheap. Oh, so not only am I getting, a member discount price, I don't even remember what it was. I ain't asking questions right now. So now I'm getting a member discount plus an additional 25% off. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. We buying this stuff now. I was just like, oh my God. So my total was like 185 something dollars. I got free shipping. I got a free gift. I was just like, yeah. I'm like, I can. My savings was well over $70 compared if I were to buy that normally at like regular retail price. I was just like, yo, I just wish I could have bought more of the stuff I needed, but they were sold out of stuff like calendula flowers, like because calendula is high in demand because it's good for skincare, and y'all know women love skincare stuff. And because it's like I really also wanted to, because it's part of like one of the pulse. No, it's actually not part of the poultices I want to use. I wanted to make a infusion oil with calendula for like my face and stuff like that, and because I think calendula is like really beneficial. I'm just like, oh, I want to make stuff. I'm just it's it's always out of stock, and I don't want to spend $80 about when I know I could get it for cheaper. I just need to wait for it to get back in stock. So basically, after I made my video yesterday, all this stuff was happening. I'm just like, wow, abundance. I got some really great free stuff, free shipping, free berry thing that I have no idea what it is, but I'm gonna look it up when I get it. I got major discounts on stuff. I got me some bison for less than $5. Do you know if you go to most places and get like a bison burger, you know, they they can charge over $20 easy. And I got this for less than $5. I am off the moon. And I'm just like, when you put stuff out in the universe, I'm just like, oh, wow. And I really think my energy is in that space. I don't know exactly what I did. I don't need to know exactly what I did. I just need to be like in the moment. But what I think is happening with my energy and stuff like that, like why I've been able to like do this today, because I'm just like, I think it's because I was really vulnerable yesterday with my video. Because it's like, like you go through all these thoughts in your head, but I honestly think, y'all can believe me or not, I don't care. This is my story. This is what I believe to true. If it's not true, whatever. It's true for me. But I believe because I was just being so vulnerable, I didn't know what to do, how to feel yesterday. It just put something out there. It's like, oh, you need stuff? Okay. It's kind of like one of those things where, like, you're not gonna get help if you don't ask for help. Like nobody, like if people don't know you need help, they're not gonna help you. Sometimes you really have to just put yourself out there in whatever capacity needs to happen. I don't know what capacity it is. I don't know. I don't know if y'all need to be on food stamps. I've been on food stamps before. That was that was like a long, long time ago. Because I was like working part time. I'm just like still living at my parents' house. I'm just like, And I was just starting to like find my own food journey, because it's like I decided not to eat like my parents, because I'm like, I'm the only one in the family that does not have a big medical issue like once a year. So I'm like, okay, what's the difference between them and me? And I just, because I started getting into like I was volunteering at a holistic center. I started to eat better a little bit. I think what really got me start eating better, because I had this boyfriend, this long distance boyfriend in college, and he came to visit me like in college, like at the dorms. And you know, like dorms, like you're getting food at the like at the cafeteria thing. And I noticed he had so many vegetables, because you know he's like half Asian like I am. And I just kind of looked at him and his plate, and something just went off in my brain. I'm like, I should probably be eating healthier, shouldn't I? At that, like something just went off in my brain, because you know when you're in college, it's like pizza, cereal, whatever. I'm just like, he just got so many vegetables. I'm like, hmm. I think that's one of the things that it's. I mean, it started before, but that was like one of the big light bulb things. So anyway, I started changing this, just like so I'm like, I can apply for food stamps because I'm technically an adult. My household income, because it's just me as part of my house, because I'm doing my own taxes, because I'm over 18. So I was able to get some food stamps. So I was able to buy some, I was able to start buying like organic berries and stuff like that, and stuff like I had my own separate food for my parents and stuff like that. And yeah, they would always have their issue once, twice a year. I wouldn't. At most, I would get a cold. And I think that's kind of normal. Like getting a cold or something once a year, I think that's relatively normal, especially if you're living somewhere with like seasons and things. So, whatever y'all need to do to ask for help, do it. I mean, worst case, someone says no. Then it's like, okay, ask someone else. Or maybe it's another government program type thing. Or maybe your family could help. Or maybe, like there's different things, like if you work like in a restaurant and things like that, like there's like family meal. It's not usually as fancy as what you get in the restaurants, but you get a meal. Like if you work in that industry, you get family meal. It's actually, I believe it's required by law. At least I believe it is in New York. I don't know about everywhere else. I don't know. When I worked at Whole Foods, you can sometimes get some free stuff. They do have employee discounts, but it's still pricey. But you tend to get a lot of the healthy crappy stuff. I'm just like, eh. Because when I worked at Whole Foods, I thought I was going to learn so much more. Turns out, I already knew a lot more compared to a lot of the other people working in that store. But it's like there are different like there's different food pantries and like different things. The kind of quality stuff. It all depends. Like where you are, where you're going, what you're getting, what you need. But if you don't ask or put energy out there to looking for these resources or something, and you need to take some type of physical action. Like you just can't, you know, like I actually had to look through things to like get these herbs. I actually had to walk myself to the store to find these amazing deals, which I should probably put this in the fridge soon, because I just been talking. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's been out of like a refrigeration for like maybe what? How long has this video been going on? I don't even know. Like, what does that say? Oh, 48 minutes. Oh, this is a long video. Wow. So yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm gonna tell myself it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna cook that one today. But it's like, yo, like, if you don't ask, you're not gonna get anything. I mean, yeah, sometimes you can get something randomly, like a present, because I get presents all the time. I love my Buy Nothing group for that. I get presents all the time. And sometimes you get brand new, sealed, tag still on it stuff. It's great. But it's like, if you don't put the physical action to it, because we live in this simulation of physical reality, the language here is action. You have to take physical action for stuff. Again, I walked to the store. If I did not go out to do stuff and walk myself to the store, I would not have gotten bison for under $5. It would not have happened if I just decided to stay home. I had to take action and physically get out there to get this. I had to take the action for my herbs. I'm like price comparing. I'm looking at different sites. I had to put it in the cart. I had to do something in order to get that. I can't believe this. I think this is the longest video. I'm just so hyped up. I can't believe I've been talking this long. I'm just so blessed. I just want you to say, like, it can happen to you. I just found this extreme manifestation for me today. I'm so grateful for that. And I heard Bashar saying this. It's like, if you want to get to that high energy state even after it's over and stuff like that, just remembering it puts you in that state. So I'm glad I also have YouTube here. If I don't know if I'm actually gonna rewatch this YouTube. I hardly ever rewatch my YouTubes because it's just like, I don't know, it's a, I don't know. I think it's a little weird hearing myself talk. I'll probably get over that at some point, but if you don't ask, you don't necessarily get. Like sometimes you get something randomly, but you get, you know, and if it's in line, I'm sure we don't have to make it as complicated as it is. And I think, you know, we do make it complicated at times. I'm just like no, did I not only, I did not spend only $50 at the grocery store. I spent a lot more, but I was happy. I was happy to spend that money to get all this extra stuff. I was happy. And that energy of being happy to spend money, we need that. You know, abundance likes energy and flowing, and you know, currency is like a current, and you want to keep it flowing. Like what I put out, I get back in, and I'm like thinking of other things I can donate, give away, and give because I do want to give back. I got this beautiful abundance thing. How can I support someone else in that kind of a way? I don't know how to support other people. It just randomly happens. It's like, okay, one of the things I'm also thinking of, I have a pair of shoes. I got these from somewhere else. And like I've like wore these shoes once or twice. They're like practically new. So it's like I'm just gonna give that away because I can't. I got so much abundance today. Like I'm sure you might have something that sorry, I'm just so happy right now. I'm sure you have something that energetically really isn't yours anymore, but you're still holding on to it just because you feel like you need it. But it's just like I feel like someone else can use this. It needs to find a new home. You know, I'm sometimes like that with different crystals and jewelry because stuff like that happens. And it's just like, I'm not into crystals as much as I used to. And, oh, mini story time. This video is going to be long. It's okay. I'm just so excited and happy. And, like, over 10 years ago, I bought this beautiful amethyst geode, like about the size of my palm. Back in the day when I bought this maybe 10, 15 years ago, that was $80. By today's standards, that'd be worth a lot more. It was beautiful. I had it there. I didn't look at it every day, but it was like around. It was a deep, dark purple. It was beautiful. Again, about maybe a little, about the palm, maybe a little more. It was beautiful. And I got the message I need to give this to someone. I was just like, no. Even if it was to a friend, I'm like, no. I was just like, I didn't initially give it to them, but I did later because this friend does not live here. They live somewhere, but they fly to like visit family often. I'm just like, no. So I didn't do it the first time. I actually ended up giving her other stuff anyway, but I was just like, no. I'm like, okay. And then the next time she came back, I was like, you gotta give it to her. I'm like, no. But I did. Because sometimes you get that feeling, like you need to give something. I'm like, this significant. And I've done that with other things. Like there was someone I was doing a yoga teacher training with, and she was going through a hard time in general. I'm not gonna go into too much details in case somehow finds it. I don't know. I don't want to go too much details. But she was going through extreme stuff. And, you know, I got the message. I had to give her one of my jade yoni eggs. Now, I was attempting to do a yoni egg business. This was still like brand new package and stuff, so it's not like it was used or anything. And these things, because this is Nefertite, I'm probably mispronouncing that. These are like over $100 back then when I bought it. I'm just like, are you? I was just like, I, I, and this is when I did not have a lot. I'm just like, are you like? These were times like I did not have a lot. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, of course these happened at very different times in my life, but I'm just like, I have to give this away, and it's just like sometimes it just calls for that, and you don't know what that gift means to someone or what it means to the object you're giving away. I think everything has consciousness, whether we're able to relate to it or not, whatever. But I'm just like, I was having a hard time because like these were expensive things. Like some things I've given away that were like free or I don't have much energy on, but these was like, oh, you're really meant to be with someone else. It's like these gemstones, I've had them for like a while. Like they've just been sitting collecting dust. I'm just like, okay, just gotta trust. And I would still do it again because I was just meant to, because it's about, just being part of that. And, I've had so many people give me so many things over the years. And I want to be able to give that. Like, yet I'll just have like these random things. Like, a friend of mine, he had like some display stuff. And I'm just like, I need to buy this for this person. Don't tell them I'm buying this for them. Of course, he told them. Like, I'm just like, of course she's gonna ask, and of course he's gonna tell her that I bought it for her. And this is someone like I barely knew. Um, I sometimes get those moments. I don't like. I would say over 90% of the times I listen to those moments. Like sometimes they home like just carry $5 on you. I was like, why? Like I don't know. You might need $5 or something. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's just like you never know where kindness is gonna come from. Like me doing what I'm doing, I'm spreading goodwill to someone. And this is all unprompted. This is not people asking me for stuff. I'm just like, okay, I got the message. You gotta go, even if it hurts, because these are not cheap things. I was just like, because when I think back to all the blessings I got, I could be giving blessings to other people, and I think that's super important when you're thinking of. I forgot these stories until I started talking to you, and I'm back in that high energy vibe. Wow, this is insane and crazy, and yeah, I'm just having a big moment of gratitude because I'm even remembering stuff where like when I was volunteering at this place, this woman, she gifted me a rebounder, not a trampoline, a rebounder. And like this is like heavy duty stuff. It is still in my apartment, and it's like I've had this for like over, let's say 15 years. It's probably more than that, but let's just say 15 because I don't remember. I was just like, at that time that was like around, that was valued like around $400. She just gave it to me for free. I was just like, oh my god. I like couldn't believe like the generosity. And I believe we've all had opportunities where we gotten stuff from someone, even if it's something small, like a meal or like a cab ride home. Like there was one time I was out with a friend, and it was someone's birthday. It's not someone I knew about. We got out with my friend because we're young and they want to go to bars and things. I'm just like, I just need to be social and be around people, even though I don't like it, but I want to be around people. And her friend got super drunk, like they were holding her hair in the bathroom, drunk at a bar, and they're just trying to get her in a cab. And this is back in the day where there was no tap to pay, there was no Uber. This is way back in the day, and I'm the only one who had cash on me. I'm the only one who had cash. Because, you got, like, yeah, bars still accept credit cards and things like that. And they probably also spent all their money at the bar. Because I don't like drinking. It's not my thing. And the one time I allow a guy to buy me a drink, that's a whole nother story. We could talk about it another point. But it's just like I'm the only one who had cash because she was plastered. Like she could not. No, they just shoved her in a car, and they're like, "Oh, how much is it gonna?" And they're trying to figure out how much, like how to get the money to get her to go home. And I'm the only one who has cash, so I gave my last $40 of cash to this cab driver to make sure this person who I don't even know gets home safely. Because I'm sure by the time she woke up, she was able to do it because obviously she did. Because, but I'm just like, there are times you just have to do that and not expect anything in return. Because I'm like, I don't want to be that person to like ask for the $40 back. It would be kind of different if it was my friend that had to do this for, but this is someone I don't even know, and I'm like, oh, talking to my friend to ask her friend to give me money. I just I was struggling because I really wanted to ask for that money back because $40 back in that day was a lot, and I just handed it over. I'm just like, but I'm like, I don't want it to be weird, and I'm just like, you don't know when you receive a gift or give a gift what impact it has. So take that story however you take the. I shared so many stories today, and I'm just thankful that I can share some of these stories with you and document this kind of stuff because I forgot all about these stories. Because, in my day to day, these stories aren't as relevant because I'm not actively thinking of these stories. But now that I'm like talking to you, like all about my excitement, I'm like remembering all this other stuff, keeping me in this high vibration. I was just like, yo, okay, it's documented somewhere. And we all have stories. I mean, and like some of the stories are not as pleasant to remember. And some of the stories we could laugh about later. And some of the stories are great. And it's just like, did I really want to give up my $40 back then to make sure this girl got home safely? No, but I did because I want her because it was more important for her to get home safely because she was blackout drunk and we just shoved her in the cab and gave the guy money. And it's just like you never know what blessings are coming your way. You never know what blessings you can be a part of to make someone else's day. Even if the blessing is just telling someone, you look good today. Like your outfit is working for you. I'd like to be a little bit more personable with things. I think I shared a story here. It's just like, oh yeah, this guy, like a receptionist at like a doctor's office, he had like these gold hexagon frame glasses. I'm like, oh, I like those glasses. They look amazing on you. Like the color perfectly suits your skin. It's so unique. I just love the vibe. To me, that sounds so much more authentic than just like, oh, I think you look cute. you know, Not that I'm even hitting on anybody. I just randomly will give compliments to people just because sometimes you just need a compliment. And I also think guys don't get a lot of compliments as often. Also because maybe guys will think women are hitting on them. I'll just be like, okay, oh, I love your jacket. Bye. Psh, I'm gone. just gone. I just got. But okay, I think this video was long enough. I should put this meat away and get ready to cook it. And I need food. Actually, I don't need food because it's interesting. Like kind of when you're in high vibrations, I'm like feeding off of another type of energy right now. So I don't necessarily need food, but I know I probably should have food because I haven't had any solid food since last night, and it is way past last night. There are times I inadvertently fast, and obviously I broke the fast by like having the little infusion and the chai, but I think I should have physical food soon because probably by the time I turn off this camera, my body will begin to settle. Like, you should probably have some food, and I'll have enough time to cook something, and it'll be great. And I hope you all are having a great and wonderful day and expect miracles, expect to be part of miracles. Okay, have a great one. Bye.